Women are troublesome. Guys always say this and I don't understand. You know what? What baffles me is that some of the guys who say this, like my brother, has wonderful sisters and a great mom. Hi guys, welcome to our YouTube channel. I'm Glory.
And I'm Peace. So guys, it's been quite a while since we posted anything last. There's been a lot of stuff. We've been busy. There's been light issues with our phones, and so many other stuff. But like, we're back. And we are continuing. Yeah, we're back and we're better. Yeah. Okay, so we are continuing the series we started called Daddy Issues. And this is gonna be the part 4 of Daddy Issues. Yeah, part 4. And it's gonna be titled. Okay, so we're going to talk about daddy issues because daddy issues is a worldwide pandemic. Yes. And for those of you who don't really know what we're talking about, you have to go watch part 1, part 2, and part 3, at least for you to get, a background of what we're talking about. So daddy issues is a worldwide pandemic. And I was just thinking about it. Let's break down the word daddy and issues, right? So daddy simply means your male parent, while issues simply means issues. That being said, when you look at society, we realize that society is made up of the male and female.
Exactly.
Of male and female. Society is made up of the male and female gender. Yeah. Yes. The male and female gender. But I've realized that in the past few years, there has been a rise in the feminine part of society, not a rise like numerically, but like a rise in the impact females are having on society, rise in female having a voice and just coming out there. I feel females have had a lot more platform than they've ever had in any other time in history.
Very true.
And it seems as though the more females are rising, it is either the males are being stagnant or they're going down. I don't know what is really going on, but I know something is not really, there's an imbalance.
As a disclaimer, this video is,
these are our
opinions, right? But it's also based on facts and research and the Holy Spirit. Okay, we'll be talking about the causes and the effect. So
and the solutions.
And the solutions, the cause and the solutions. Yeah. So first of all, I realized that daddy issues started as boy issues.
Every daddy issues
was a boy issue. I mean, right now in the shooting of this video, the hot topic is the death of the singer Osinachi Nwachukwu. I think that's her name.
God rest her soul.
God rest her soul. And there's this talk about her husband abusing her. Exactly. So
domestic violence,
yes,
right?
Yes. So somebody was saying that the fact that her husband was abusing her didn't just start when he was a man. That these things would have started when he was a child, when he was a boy.
Sure.
So I think it even stands to support the fact that every daddy issue was a boy issue.
Absolutely.
So I realized that there is something I've noticed in males. I'll call it the need for a head, and I think it's one of the causes of daddy issues.
Okay.
There's this thing in every boy to look up to somebody else. They always want to look up to somebody else. They always have a role model, somebody that they want to be like. It's so common. If it's your fathers, your senior brothers, the senior cousins, even a star. These people they look up to may have maybe very wealthy, have an attractive physique, just something that attracts them. And the thing is that right now in the world today, we don't have a lot of positive role models. We don't have a lot of positive role models. And the thing is, those people that they make their role models or their idols actually have this side of them that is not so pleasant. Some of the people they look up to may have character flaws, like some of them are dishonest, some of them may be womanizers, some of them may be promiscuous, some of them may be woman beaters. Some of them may even be drunkards, have an addiction. Thank you. But they make excuses for this part of these guys because they want to be like their role models in another area, right? Okay, let me use a very practical example. There's this very popular musician in Nigeria. The only reason that they want to be like him is because he has money and he's probably very successful, and they want to be like him. But then they also clone the fact that he abuses a substance. And at the end of the day, they clone his hairstyle, they clone the way he dresses, they clone his substance abuse. But you know, you can't clone success. So at the end of the day, what these guys become are poor versions of these people they look up to.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a very big problem, because what happens at the end of the day is that this problem is replicated, right? This character flaw, if it's woman beating, if it's abuse of a substance addiction, they don't even care. This thing is just replicated from one guy to another guy and to another guy, and it causes so much problems.
Yeah, I think what you said is so beautiful, and I'm very particular about what you said as relates to males cloning another male. To every male in society, there's about 5 males attached to them. So no matter how broken, no matter how whatever a male can be, there's about 5 other younger males looking up to him.
Yes.
So it's easy for daddy issues to spread. It's easy for bad parenting to spread. But to every female, there's about 2 other females looking up to her. 2 other females looking up to her. You would realize that females exist in clusters.
Okay.
Like, you would realize that a girl she has a certain circle of friends at school. She has a certain circle of friends when she's at church, another circle of friends when she's at home. Like, they exist in clusters. I mean, a guy would decide to take his girlfriend out on a date, and she may be like, okay, I want my friend to come with me, you know? And it's just really, I'm not saying guys don't have friends or whatever, but it's usually more with ladies. You would see that there can be, a male can live in Abuja and have a friend that lives in Lagos, and they wouldn't see each other for months. And when they see, they're fine, they're good. True. But that distance can break a friendship for females because they exist in clusters. And that cluster sort of protects their identity.
Very true.
But with the fact that males exist like one, just like, you know, they're not really attached to anything, it makes it more easier for them to look for that identity and, you know,
everywhere,
to do this cloning thing that you talked about. Because when you think about the cloning thing, it's not practical for ladies, you know?
It's not.
A lady does not want another lady to look like her. So many guys say women have wahala, you know, because like, I would not be proud to see another girl talk exactly like me, walk exactly like me, have my hairstyle. Like, it's like, oh my, that's creepy. And I wouldn't want that to happen to me, and I wouldn't also want to clone another female. But I think for the male society, it's not celebrated. It's not really such a big deal. Right?
Guys even get a kick out of other guys cloning them.
Exactly.
Right, but it's not like that for the females. Yeah. Okay, if I think that's the main focus of the topic, cloning as a problem. And if we're going to talk about the solutions, like what do we do about cloning?
What do we do about this?
First of all, I want to talk about David.
Okay.
Now, from the story of David, we see that David is going to fight Goliath, right? Goliath is a new enemy.
And what she's talking about is a Bible story.
It's a Bible
story. So, like, if you read the whole Bible, you'll find it somewhere.
So Goliath is a kind of new enemy, and the men of Israel and the King Saul are stumped. They don't know what to do because they've never actually fought this kind of opposition before, and nobody wants to go. They're armed, they have their sword, they have their shoes, their helmets, but these things are not even giving them courage to go. And David decides to come up, right?
To fight Goliath.
And Saul, in a bit to help David, gives David the weapons that could not even help himself, right? Wow. And I think that's what's happening today.
I think it's so. That's very like Saul gave David armor. He gave him a shield.
An
gave him
a
sword. And all these
everything.
Things. But David was like, it's too heavy. I'm not comfortable with it. And David decided to use another weapon to defeat Goliath.
I realized that that's what is happening today. History is giving the younger generation tools that are already rusty, or tools that don't fit our present battle. Let me give you one of the tools I used to get. Women are troublesome. Guys always say this, and I don't understand. You know what? What baffles me is that some of the guys who say this, like my brother, has wonderful sisters and a great mom. But he says it anyway, right? Yeah. And I think it's not necessarily his truth. It's just something that's been passed from generation to generation. Yeah, and he just says it, right? So,
because you're very correct. I've spoken with guys, and I'm like, okay, name one woman you know who's troublesome. And when they're talking to me in general about their life, they can name women who have stood up for them, women who have fought for them. But still, they just have this notion, like, where does it come from?
So some of these things are tools that have been passed down from generation to generation, and some of the younger generations are not comfortable with it, but they just want to say what society is saying. Yeah. I was asking a friend of mine, a very good friend of mine, I was like, so why do you drink? Why did you take alcohol? and he didn't know. So he was
why.
like, my mom and my dad takes it so. And I realized this was something it feels like to be a man, right? Or to be relevant, he just had to drink. He didn't necessarily know why
he was doing it. So a friend of mine was talking to me about, this notion in society that to be a guy, you have to have had a certain number of times, you have to have spoken to a certain number of girls. Like, it's just a tool that is passed down, right? And it's not necessarily, and this guy's like, it's not necessarily helping me. I don't really see the point of all this, but like to fit into it, and like,
has to do it. So all these things are tools that's been passed down from generation to generation, and the reason why,
and not just for males, also for females.
Yes.
Well, because of today's topic, daddy issues, we're talking about males. So.
Exactly, and I feel like some of these males are not comfortable with these tools, but in order to have an identity somehow, they actually use these tools that are not efficient. Like, you always look at your parent, like it didn't work for them, so it won't work for you actually.
Okay.
So I feel like David did the right thing. He stood up and was like, I'm going to use the weapon I'm more comfortable with. It was not usual. It was different from other people's weapons. It was crude, but it was true, right? And it got his target.
Wow.
At the end of the day, what makes you a warrior is not what kind of weapons you use. It is what makes you a warrior.
Okay, what makes you a weapon?
What makes you a warrior is if you're able to take down what's facing you, right?
Wow.
And I feel like today guys need to come to a place where they're cool with their identity, cool with who they are. They don't have to depend on somebody else. At the end of the day, Jesus is the only head that you can have that would help you throughout life. He's a strong foundation. So if you're looking for an identity that is founded on a solid rock, if you're looking for whatever, it's all found in the person of Jesus, right? So the whole essence of this video is for guys to find their true identity and just stand by it.
Their identity outside of societal norms and values, and just really finding what tool is most necessary for them defeating their own giant. Every generation has a different giant, and so the approach should be different.
Yeah, it should be different.
I feel like you've done a lot of talking today.
Yeah, you always do a lot of talking, so
no, there's not.
I'd like to take the baton from you.
Okay.
Y'all know she talks a lot. Y'all know it.
Is that an accusation?
No, I know. They know.
So guys, remember to like, share, subscribe, do all that good stuff y'all do.
We love you guys.
Bye. Bye.